Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now today is Sunday, so you know what that means. We're going around the net with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. And even though it is going into a holiday weekend, we still have a few good ones for you. So we have an update, if you will, on our never-ending saga of will they, won't they update the credit card merchant or swipe fees. We're checking in with Discover, who's out with their Q4 5X categories. And we have some interesting reporting on the Citi Strata Elite compliments of Doctor of Credit. So we will go over that and probably do some wild speculations. So of course, if that sounds interesting to you, then go ahead, press the subscribe button, and let's get to work. Now we will lead off with the merchant or interchange fees, also commonly known as swipe fees. This is predominantly from Visa and MasterCard. We've had a few stories over this year about, when will they increase the fees. It's basically a given at this point that the swipe fees are going to increase. Of course, a while back we had the dedicated video on legislation that was trying to get passed to give merchants or stores the option to run cards through different networks. So now Payments.com, in I'm going to say association with a few other outlets, Payments.com just happens to be the one that was sent to me by Jeremy, friend of the show, has some dates for us, or months, as I should say. So let's take a look at this. Now, they're saying, what Payments.com is saying, through various sources who've been working on this, either through a consultancy or what have you, are saying that, hey, the swipe fee increase is going to come in October and in April, so it could be like a two-tier approach, perhaps. We don't really know. What they are estimating is that most of this increase is going to affect online purchases, and then it's estimated that these hikes could cost retailers about an extra $502 million a year. With this increase, I assume they mean on the aggregate, all retailers in, not just like one specific retailer, but I mean, it's possible. They didn't really specify. So as good journalists do, they did reach out to MasterCard for a quote. You know how we love quotes here, so we were clear on 2 points before. This is a MasterCard spokesperson. We were clear on 2 points before the story was found. There are no changes to MasterCard interchange rates, and the MasterCard change reference is existing service we provide to acquirers who can activate it as needed to drive safer and more streamlined checkout experiences for consumers. And then Visa did not yet provide comment. They probably won't. So all that to say is it's probably October and April, and overall, all in, it's probably going to cost retailers quite a bit more money. Now, online is somewhat interesting because online is generally deemed as riskier because those go in as card not present. And is it more risky? Really, not really in my opinion, but because the card isn't present, those can have higher risk and sometimes higher fees versus if you're in person, you can do that EMV deal that just, dip the card, as they say, and that's because you have the card. That's, I guess, less risky. I think it harkens back to older days where people would actually check if you signed the back of the card, but no one checks. It was mostly self-checkout these days, so it could be perceived as less risky, I guess, depending on your policies and procedures in store, but maybe that's why they're focusing more on online. Of course, online is probably just a never-ending increase of revenue or swipes for these guys as well. I would say across the board with price increases, why don't we all just increase prices one time and be done with it, right? Because every single time it just ends up being like we have to make this curated marketing post with the fun, fancy words and everything due to economic times and pressures. Just everyone do it one time. Let's get it over with and be done with it and just move on. Like, that's my solution. Just do it, everyone, one time and move on. I don't think that's the diplomatic approach or even the approach marketers would take, but that's why I'm not a marketer. So there is that. Of course, we will keep an eye on it, as well as the legislation trying to give merchants the option to avoid this by having the choice of 2 networks per cards. So moving right along, if you do need a card to swipe, then Discover has you covered going into Q4. Again, Discover It Cash. They've switched from doing a full calendar at the beginning of the month to telling you they're rotating categories to doing it a month before the quarter starts, and so now we have their Q4 category. So if we take a look at this go around, you're getting Amazon.com and you're getting Target. Now, of course, Q4 starts October 1st to December 31st. You do have to opt in on every single, Discover It Cash card that you have. Now, overall, there's not really much to say here. I think these are good categories. The opinion usually comes down to what does Chase do, because people really, really don't like overlap out there, and I understand why. So Chase will announce in 2 weeks' time September 14th will be the date, and then September 15th will be the day I think you can start opting in on Chase's side. So we'll know for sure how we feel about these categories down the road. I think they're fine. Again, you don't see Target much, so to have Target out there coming into the holiday season, they have Target super centers around here that sell groceries and electronics and things like that. Plus, you already know you're very familiar with Amazon. I understand as someone who has the Amazon card myself, how it can be somewhat annoying, but I mean, you can't win them all, and I think them giving you 2 options is pretty good. Now, overall, a few more notes on Discover. At the moment, they are running their referral promotion for the Discovery Cash Card. They will net you an extra $100 in the form, I believe, of a statement credit simply for being approved and using the card in 3 months' time. So that is the higher of the referral offers for the Cash Card. In addition to that, with the Discovery Cash Card, it can be good to sign up mid-quarter because, you know, that their intro offer is cashback match for the first full year. But if you sign up like mid-quarter, and I would still consider us, you know, mid-quarter right now, you know, it's probably September 3rd when you're watching this, you know, as long as if you were to max out the last bit of Q3, and then go into Q4, max out all those, you're talking about 5 categories or 5 quarters of cashback match versus just 4 if you signed up, you know, in the beginning of one. So there will be on the blog post on Profitable Content, I'll link it down below for you. There will be a referral link. It's not mine, it's for a channel member if you are interested. So check that out. Now would be a good time to pull the trigger on that. Now, with the last topic, we're going back to Citi, who I've been asked a lot about lately, especially given we just did the Q&A on Thursday. So, Strata card, Strata and Strata Elite, will they, won't they come out? Well, the good doctor of credit must have hit some of his sources, and he's saying the Strata Elite is getting ready to launch. Now, I didn't make a blog post about this because this is entirely his reporting and his sources from what I'm reading on his post. And there's got to be a limit to how much I'll steal other people's stuff. So, let's just take a look from Doc's words himself, and you take a look at it here. These cards are getting, he posted this on August 28th, these cards are getting closer to finally launching. The Citi Strata Elite will compete with the Amex American Express Platinum with a comparable annual fee and coupon book credits. In his own opinion, doesn't sound appealing, but from what he's seen, it might be tweaked. So in the comments, he goes on to say he can't really say much more right now, but suffice it to say he's probably seen some type of marketing material about it, and I will believe it. Now, they're getting close to launch. I don't share his optimism that they will change something off the get-go, because, I mean, a lot of this stuff, you're getting ready to launch, you're good to go, you're locked in, your course is locked in, so I don't foresee a change, even though I don't know what the cards are going to have. But if we speculate for a little bit, I mean, on one hand, I've always said it, and I'll keep saying it, the Citi Prestige card was really, really good. It was actually too good, and I think that's why they ended up getting rid of it, eventually nerfing it, then outright getting rid of it. But it was really, really good. So once again, Citi has the capability. The Citi Premier card is a good card. It's probably better than the Sapphire Preferred, especially for multiplier-wise. It's much better, more well-rounded for sure. If their hotel credit was just a little bit easier to use, you didn't have to do a $500 stay, I think it is, through the Citi portal to trigger it, it's probably a better card than the Sapphire Preferred. So there's still a chance that these are good. As far as the annual fee goes, I'm not surprised because as soon as someone punches up to that height, it makes it okay for everyone else. I mean, it wasn't going to be cheaper than $550, I would have guessed. And we've got a few cards that punch up in the $650, like the Marriott Brilliant card, the Platinum, so yeah, why not there? As far as credits, I mean, I think you'll see your standard fanfare of credits. I bet you it almost comes out looking like the Bank of America Travel Elite card a little bit. I think you'll get your TSA Pre. There'll be some kind of airline incidental credit in there. They'll probably look for other partners. Again, Citi generally does work with higher net worth individuals. They'll take anyone, but you can see that's kind of who they kind of favor. So I think you probably see services aimed at that. Will they go outright and copy, Amex? No, but I think they will have a lot of different credits on it. Now, I probably would say it'll probably have more of a lifestyle component than anything else. I think a lot after the lockdown and lack of travel, I think folks are seeing that, hey, being fully dialed in on everything travel can potentially be bad, but if we can mix it in so it makes it easier for people to have this card plus, and travel and then use it in everyday life, that would be good too. Again, the biggest thing here, I know they changed their account packages for deposit accounts from account packages to like a preferred reward system, they should have been a preferred reward system like Bank of America, but it's basically just give us more money and we'll scale you up, but there's no real benefit. So, I do think there's still potential for them to tie that in. I don't think they're going to. I think it's just going to be a coupon book like they mentioned. which is a missed opportunity. But again, I hold out some optimism because, again, if it mirrored the Prestige and that fourth night free perk came over, even at the capped version where you can only do it like 2 or 3 times a year, you're still talking about something pretty good. If it had similar multipliers, I still think that's pretty good. Again, the reason I don't like the Platinum card is not necessarily because of all the coupons, because there's only one multiplier. If you brought in more multipliers, like merge the green card with it, then I think you got something. But so all that to say, I think it has chance, but we'll keep an eye out because, of course, we are hoping that it's good. And the Citi did revamp their travel portal as well, so there's potential to tie in there. I mean, will American come on as a partner? Will this get Admirals Club Lounge? I mean, there are some things they could do to make this interesting to some people out there, but, I'll leave it there. Let me know what you want to see in the Strata Elite to make it not only a day one pickup, but like a keeper card. Like, what would make you want to keep this card? Call it a $700 annual fee. Like, what would it need to have for you to be like, you know what, this is going to be my travel card, and subsequently I'd probably move over to Citi because of it, because I don't think you'd want multiple travel cards, but some of you guys are crazy. You know who I'm talking about. But anyways, guys, that has been the news for this week. So, of course, if you liked it, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel. Because, of course, we're posting content just like this every single week. And right back here every Sunday with all the news you can use in the week that was in credit and finance. And, of course, every single day over on ProfitableContent.com, where we have the latest news stories just like this. We have bank account promotions. And, of course, we have credit card offers, known commodities that are not, the Citi Strata Elite. If that's not your cup of tea when it comes out, check the site. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you very soon this week.